Do it.
The button's been pressed, everybody.
So we're recording?
Yes.
Awesome. Yesterday, Evey ate a dog treat. This is Goblincast, live on the air. I'm bad.
Fucking wizard.
I'm Evey and I work in an animal hospital.
That doesn't make it better.
I'm Eddy,
She ate
and that
the dog
doesn't
treat.
explain anything.
She ate it just off the counter.
Okay, listen.
An adult
Okay,
human
wait,
person.
wait. I'm sorry. Wait, before we get into this, I'm Eddy. Hello. Chris.
Chris, turn off push.
Oh no!
pause.
Oh no! We're getting into this. We're getting into this.
Say your
right
name.
now. I'm waiting.
Introduce
I wanna hear
yourself.
this. No one's gonna know who the hell I am till we get into this.
Chris, you're so
Oh my
loud.
God.
I'm Chris. Hello.
One more. We're so good at this. Jennica, please.
My God, we might have to do it again.
No,
I
we
mean,
don't. This is perfect.
No, we don't have to do it again. I'm Jennica, and I'm new here. I'm starting to think it was a mistake.
so is
Alrighty.
Chris.
So let's talk about this. Evey, would you like to explain, or should we attack you first?
No. I will tell you the whole story. I will tell you the whole story. She doesn't
please.
get to explain herself. I
No,
will tell you
please
the
let
whole
the
story.
defense speak.
She
I
works
am
in
the
an animal
Banax,
hospital.
and I speak for the Evies.
Ben, you didn't let me tell you the whole story because
Doesn't matter. She works at an animal hospital. Okay.
Okay.
She was sitting at the desk,
Mhm.
and in front of her was a dog treat.
No, it
and
wasn't
she
in front
picked
of
it
you. You
up,
don't
and
even know the
It
story.
was to the side then, whatever. And she
No,
picked
you
it up,
don't even know.
and she ate it.
No,
And
so
then
it
she
was
told me
on
about
the
it at Target today while we were buying random necessary items.
it was on the technician
People
desk.
were around.
It was on the technician
Oh,
desk.
so you had to go out of your way for it.
No, shut up and listen to me. Okay, it was on the technician desk, and Stephanie sat down at the desk, and she looked at this like torn up piece of like begging strip, and she goes, "Is this a dog treat?" And I go, "There's one way to find out."
So it wasn't even one of those cookie ones?
It
Like
was a
that I could
bag-in
buy
strip?
No,
every
it was like
day.
begging
Fake
strip. It
bacon
was like
taste
definitely.
bacon strip.
So you
It
thought
wasn't begging strip brand. It was an off-brand begging strip,
it
and I
wasn't.
popped it in my mouth.
You weren't even classy enough to eat the name brand dog treats.
No, I popped it in my mouth and then went, "Oh no, this is a dog treat." And then shortly after
What
went,
else would
"Actually,
it
it's
have
not that
been?"
bad."
Okay, wait, real quick. Okay,
Did you
so
swallow
the two options for
like I
this
ate it.
No.
this piece of organic material that was in front of you, the two options were it was either a dog treat or someone's old leftover piece of bacon.
Yeah, like it
That
could
they
have been a
left
people
out.
snack. It could have
No.
been like jerky or something.
Yeah,
Did
just
it
a
look
piece of
like
it on a
jerky?
desk in a vet's
Yeah.
office?
Yeah.
No.
There's very little there that I can't eat.
Oh
Once?
God!
Once.
So you ran
Also
out
that
of
same
bread
day-
and cheese from the last episode, then?
Yeah,
Okay.
No, that's just in the fridge.
it is. Also that same day, my coworker asked all of us if we had our rabies vaccines.
And do you?
Uh-oh.
I do not. I don't
No,
have my
most people
rabies.
don't,
Evey.
actually.
Evie, you work for a veterinarian.
I know. I was saying that we really should all have our rabies. We should probably all get rabies vaccines.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just not typically a thing that is offered to human people. But I
It
think
is,
that
though.
we should all get our vaccines.
I'm not gonna. I come into contact with rabies often
Uh,
enough.
Well,
I mean, you're,
also at
you're
which
near the
point
New York
I
rat.
found out one of our
Did you say the New York rat as if there's
yeah, there's
one?
only one.
yeah, I saw the New York rat in
I was
Manhattan.
waiting for it the whole time. Yeah, Eddie, there's only one New York rat.
He
He's
just
just
moves
very
really
fast.
fast.
It's so quick.
So I
I
did
just
see
dropped
I did
something.
see the New York rat in Manhattan, and I want to make it clear to everyone that I've seen a lot of rats in my life because my uncle worked with a rat
Is a rat
rescue.
keeper.
Yeah, he keeps rats.
I was gonna be joking, and then
he keeps rats.
Okay.
Sometimes very many at a time. That rat in New York City was the biggest fucking rat I've ever seen in my life. It was
Yeah,
like
they're
6 feet
monsters.
tall,
Yeah.
I swear.
well, I mean,
Like it
they
was like
had
a full
to.
foot long. was a
You've heard of
football
there's this guy. I think his name was Charlie Darby or something like that, and he has this theory.
Was it?
Charlie Darby, he has this theory that animals will
His
adapt
name
to
is
their
Chucky D.
environment. So I think the rats had to grow large
Chucky D.
Chucky D.
Yo, Chucky D out here on a beagle, gonna eat me some tortoises.
And the rats, they had to grow larger to contest with the alligators in the sewer.
You know, I think
Yeah.
Charles Dickens
Man, the
said
Charlie
something similar,
Darby
too.
really
The rat,
upstaged
in
what I
singular.
intended the punchline of that joke to be. We're having a good time here.
Yeah,
It's a good start to our second
So
episode.
what does anybody want to talk about?
Chris has some topics.
On the subject of very fast rats, I want to
Okay.
introduce you all to a creature that I have accidentally gone into a fucking rabbit hole about.
All right, let's find out.
Eddie, are you ready for this name?
I'm so ready.
Do you want to take a guess at what it could be called?
Well, I don't know anything about it. Do you want to give me some descriptive factors, or
I
am I
was
just
just-
throwing names into the wind?
See, I was just hoping for a
All right,
shot
how
in the
about
dark.
Dangus?
You know what? You're not
Dangus.
far off.
Okay.
Oh no.
Is it the dongfish?
It
is
is
it that
not
one?
The dogfish.
The dogfish isn't
Damn.
decrypted. The dogfish is very real.
Is it Squonk?
Yeah, but he haunts my dreams.
It is not
okay.
Squonk.
Is it the
Damn
Grass
it.
Man?
It lives in North America. It is rooted in North American lumberjack folklore.
It's the Grass
Ooh.
Man, right?
It's the whirling Wimpus.
Mhm.
I've heard of the whirling Wimpus.
I haven't.
How
Tell
have
me
I
about.
not
Wait,
heard of
can you?
this?
Do you have a picture that you can put in the Discord here?
Yeah, I'll get this going, but I need to tell you about the
put it
whirling
in-
Wimpus.
Put it in Pisscorp.
I am. The whirling Wimpus is an ape-like being of some variety. He stands between 5 and 6 feet tall. It inhabits the forested mountains of Tennessee. It has been blamed and and often accused of disappearing many woodsmen from Tennessee.
Okay,
There are
I'm
woodsmen
I'm
in Tennessee.
intrigued.
It has arms that are as long as its entire body.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a good look.
When hunting, the whirling Wimpus picks a spot along a trail, preferably around a bend, and begins to spin.
Mm.
As the Wimpus spins faster and faster, it finally becomes invisible.
I'm sorry. Is the whirling Wimpus a gorilla with human legs?
It is a gorilla with human legs and like arms the length of its entire body.
Okay, keep going. So it spins so fast it becomes
It
invisible.
spins so fast it becomes invisible, and then it basically just emits this really high-pitched whining sound.
Mhm.
It emits a strange droning sound. Those who are not aware of what this noise denotes will walk right into the Wimpus's danger zone. They
This
are
really
smashed into a paste by the creature's high-speed fists.
This really
This
sounds
paste
like
is
just.
what the animal feeds on. This is a
God.
toddler fighting on the playground.
It really sounds like just a cautious tale for
Flip.
like large machinery.
Oh
Yeah.
no. This is very real. You think Tennessee lumberjacks are out here lying?
Yeah,
Never-
why
I
the-
would
think
that?
Tennessee lumberjack. I honestly did not know that Tennessee lumberjacks existed.
I'm
Well,
I
as
would
far
not
as
have
I
heard of
was
Tennessee.
aware, Tennessee lumberjacks are actually unable to lie.
Hey, Chris. Can I ask you a question about the image that you shared about the whirling Wimpus?
That is an illustration I have shared.
I
of the
can't.
whirling Wimpus.
Is it the
Is
one with
the
boobs?
illustration from is it by Kurt de Boisfranc in The Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods?
It is from perhaps, maybe.
Can you
Because
share it in
I-
the call? Because I can't see it.
Okay, but listen, Chris, I'm going to share a picture of my favorite cryptid
Oh yes.
from what I believe to be the
Oh, God, it's
same.
the squonk.
Yes, I'm going to
Why
tell
is
you
this
guys
image
about
so
this.
tiny?
I'm going to tell you guys about this because I just pasted it from Wikipedia. I'm going to tell you guys about the squonk. The squonk lives in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania. Okay, and the squonk I think is just me. I think someone saw me in the forests of Pennsylvania and got confused. Because the squonk has ill-fitting skin covered in blemishes, it's deeply ashamed of its appearance, and spends all of its time weeping.
We're all the squonk.
Excellent.
When hunters have attempted to catch the squonk, they have found that the creature can evade capture by dissolving entirely into a pool of tears when it is cornered. A cryptid hunter by the name of J.P. Wentling supposedly coaxed one into a bag, which, while he was carrying it home, found that the bag contained only liquid.
And then,
Excellent.
okay, now here's my important question. What if you drink the squonk?
Mhm.
Then you gain its squonk powers.
Here's the
Eddie.
do you become a squonk? Does it reconstitute inside you and explode
it-
out of your body?
Is it a squonk or is it the squonk?
It sounded like it was
It's
a
a
squonk.
squonk.
Sounds like it's a
squonk.
species. Like
Also,
Bigfoot.
Steely Dan has mentions them in a song.
Well, that's like basically evidence.
Yeah, that's how you know it's real. Genesis also has a song called Squonk.
Okay, so we brought Phil Collins back.
mhm.
That's solid.
The
Right, Phil
PlayStation
Collins
2
is-
game
Podcast sponsored by
Concept-
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins is the
The
lead singer of
PlayStation 2
Genesis,
game
isn't he?
Concept features the Squonk as a playable creature card.
The what
Incredible.
in the who now?
I don't know.
You're just reading Wikipedia. I didn't
I
realize.
wanted to see if I could find some interesting, more
Squonk
information
facts?
about the Squonk than I already knew.
Squonk facts.
Um,
That'll be a segment. Just every episode, one squonk fact.
Just like every episode, multiple references to Phil Collins.
You gotta have it. You can't make a podcast without Phil Collins. I mean, Phil
Obviously
Collins
not.
invented podcasts back in 1986.
He
Well,
also
no, he invented it in
music at that
1993 when
time.
he also invented the Tarzan soundtrack, his greatest work.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't believe
Yeah,
Phil
that's very
Collins
fair.
invented music. There was nothing before that.
Everything is retroactive. We've just hallucinated them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. The Beatles aren't
Who
real.
the fuck was Mozart?
I
don't
okay,
know,
so
fuck that guy.
I was doing shit. How did I get on this topic? I might have told Ben about this already, but it should be new to everybody else. I saw a post about it was
the
like
Whirling Wimpus is just Phil Collins.
it was like a dumb like motivational post. But one of the top comments on it, the quote in the post was from Aristotle, I think. And one of the top comments was,
Aristotle, you mean?
yeah, Aristotle. And one of the top comments was someone talking
Aristotle.
about how like Aristotle and Plato weren't real.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like,
Just as people.
I was like, do people believe this? So I did a little research. First of all, yes, people do believe
Yeah,
this.
they're just
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed characters.
No, so but here's the theory. Okay, here's the
Machiavelli and Leonardo da Vinci.
Everybody knows that Leonardo da Vinci is just a character in Fate.
King Arthur didn't exist, just that anime girl from that one thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So here's the theory. Okay, that Plato and Aristotle and a lot of philosophers, okay, were invented by high academia so that they could have more courses to teach to charge people money for.
What?
Okay. Now let's talk about this for a second. So,
I mean, I was there in the room when they decided to come up with Dante, so
here's what these people believe, okay?
And
Not-
his brother slash best friend slash hero
Now,
Virgil.
when I told you that people believe Plato and Aristotle didn't exist, you were thinking, oh, maybe there's people who think that different people wrote that stuff and that these were like mythological figures that
Like how
through
people think that
history.
Shakespeare was multiple people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
the bad Shakespeare theory. Yeah.
All right. So,
Don't get me started
no.
on
What
that.
they believe is
Yeah,
that
I agree.
these writings are not as old as ancient Greece, but in fact are much more modern and attributed to ancient Greek philosophers because people don't want to learn about stuff. They don't want to learn philosophy and stuff from modern day people. They want to learn it from ancient Greek philosophers. So they won't
that's
pay.
because no one
They won't
at
pay
this
for
day and
college
age knows
courses
anything.
that teach the same material if that material was come up with in like the 1800s.
Yeah, everyone knows if you just write an older published date inside of a book, it automatically enters the literary canon.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
and what
I
also makes
took
this
50
great
Shades
is like,
of Grey and I made a new copyright page that said copyright like 1822.
Not
Excellent.
old enough.
Because here's the thing, scholars lose their pants over
it has
Lady
to be- it has to
Chatterley's
be
lover,
BCE.
and what is that but Victorian porn?
yeah,
I don't know what we're talking about. I'm a dumb.
I agree. It is Victorian porn.
I continue to
I
be
love
a dumb.
it. It's a great book, but
But here's why it's great. Ancient Greek could say anything. Ain't nobody knows what that says.
yeah, like, can we
Well,
talk
I'm sure
about
that one of the,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
that
one of
I'm
the
on
reasons
board.
behind this.
I'm on board with this theory. I'm on board.
I'm sure that one of the reasons behind this conspiracy theory is, well, it's all in English.
Exactly.
That's true. Isn't
How
that
else
a little
would they
fishy?
be teaching it to us? Which means it
What if
couldn't
they
have been written in
invented it?
ancient Greece.
Imagine
What if they
being
wrote
the guy.
it in English for the first time?
Ima-
That's what
ima-
I'm saying. They wrote it in English for the first time, and everyone just pretended that they knew how to speak ancient Greek because they wanted to sound fucking cool. I'd be like, I'm sorry, you don't speak ancient Greek? Well, here, let me just whip this out for you.
You don't speak ancient Greek? Here, have another 3 years of tuition bills.
But imagine being.
We've now invented the language. First of all, ancient Greece did not exist.
Obviously, nothing existed before Jesus.
Yeah, we invented the language.
The world is 54 years
to
old,
teach more classes.
and nobody can.
But here's the thing, right?
The world started when Phil Collins started writing
The
music.
world started in 1987 when Phil Collins invented music.
Imagine being the guy who wrote the allegory of the cave and like having everyone attribute it to some made-up Greek philosopher.
Yeah, named fucking Dick McThickshoulders.
Yeah, or Plato.
No.
What-
Listen,
yeah.
my favorite Plato fact is that Plato
Was a thick
was
boy.
a like semi-famous professional wrestler.
He
Yeah.
was an
In
Olympic
addition to
level
being a
wrestler in
philosopher.
Greece, yes.
And Plato was not his given name. That was his wrestling nickname.
Because he
From-
was very
from the-
broad.
Yeah, from the word platon, which means broad. Which is great because the whole like behold a man joke, which is still my favorite fucking thing in the world, is
Mhm.
basically like the modern day equivalent of somebody walking up and throwing a chicken at Randy Orton.
But except that person is the scrawny, homeless, like, drunkard that just barges into the WWE ring sometimes.
Yeah, that's like me throwing a plucked chicken at Randy Orton.
All right. So who else has something to talk about? This was quite the tangent.
It was. So, this week,
You're not gonna
I
try
thought-
and talk about what the fuck was it called?
I'll take a bit.
No, it was a monster collector that wasn't Digimon.
Take a
He's
bit.
gonna talk about it right
Data
now.
children. It's called
You'll get-
Data children.
No, I'm not getting it. Go
And
ahead.
it's-
You'll get it. You'll
it-
get it. I'm sure
Nah.
you'll get it.
Nope, we're not gonna get it.
No, you're not going to get it? You're going to give
No.
up?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't going to talk about spectrums.
Okay, good.
But so this week, I thought to myself, man, I really wish that I could watch the Digimon from, like, my childhood. And I looked online, and I was like, Crunchyroll has listings for, like, every Digimon season.
Ben, I begged you not to talk about this.
And so none of them, absolutely none of them, are available on Crunchyroll. You can't get Digimon Adventure, you can't get Digimon Adventure 2, you can't get Digimon Tamers, you cannot get Digimon Frontier, you cannot get Crosswords, not that I would want to. None of it is on Crunchyroll, even though all of it was at one point. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. I guess Netflix has exclusivity. So I go to Netflix. Netflix also used to have all of these things. They've all been purged. And I go, fuck, well, maybe Amazon took it? And so I went to Amazon, and every episode has been purged from Amazon as well. There is not a single site that you can legally stream old Digimon on. The only way to get Digimon in English is to buy the Blu-rays from 2014, not Blu-rays, sorry, DVDs from 2014 for $118 that are no longer in print.
Well, what this is a mass media conspiracy to deny me access to Renamon.
Evey is a fucking
I'm
freak.
not sorry. I begged you not to even say the word tamers because it would just unlock this like deep-seated desire in the pit of my stomach.
To fuck Renamon because she's a fucking furry.
Leave me alone. Just leave me be. There are plenty of things I want to fuck that aren't Renamon.
Yeah, like Lucario. You
Hey,
fucking
that's
furry.
one. That's
Guys.
one Pokemon out of the 750 Pokemon. There's so many Pokemon that I don't want to fuck, and you
Yeah,
can't.
but you do want to fuck Lucario.
Okay,
and
but
Renamon,
wait,
so
let's
you're fucking
no. Let's talk about this for a moment, okay?
No, we're not.
No.
going to.
I am a human sexual, I guess.
Yeah, me
I'm attracted to
too.
humans.
Why?
Wait, hold up a second.
Same.
There are more than 750 humans that I don't want to have sex with. So that's not an argument against being a furry, Evie. I'm not a furry. There's 750 animals I don't want to have sex with. We need logical consistency on this podcast.
Now the
It's
entire
not- I
internet knows
don't-
your
it's-
secrets, Evie.
It's not fair. No, they don't because they don't know the second Pokemon I want to fuck.
I always forget the second Pokemon.
Oh
you
no,
wanna
is it
fuck.
Blaziken?
No, it's not Blaziken.
I'm just trying to think of ones. Well, because Blaziken's got like a weird fur bulge. And also,
Ew.
everyone now look up an image of Blaziken. Have you done it? I'm right. Moving on.
It's not Blaziken. It's not Blaziken.
She was about to say it.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Fucking-
telling.
Is it
Chris, do you remember?
fucking Houndoom?
No, it's not Houndoom. Houndoom,
Damn.
I love and respect as my Pokemon partner, but it's not sexual.
Mightyena.
No,
Fuck.
it's not any of the ones that just look like animals.
No, it's
They have
one.
to
It's
be
a
vaguely
person one. It's like Sock or
anthropomorphized.
something.
Oh God!
It's Throw. It's Throw for sure.
It's not any of the fighting
Hitmonchan.
types.
It's not a fighting type, and it's.
Why are we
humanoid.
doing this to ourselves?
Why are we doing
We
this to
shouldn't
Evie,
be.
you mean?
I don't want to be involved in this.
So
Why
has
did you bring up Renamon?
You brought
kind
up
of-
gamers.
wait. Did we? All right. I was gonna go on a second tangent, but Ben, do you want to just keep talking about Digimon instead of this?
I never thought you'd ask. I'm gonna cry. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really want to watch like old Digimon because old Digimon, like some of it still really holds up. Like, yeah, it's children's TV, but like so is most of what I watch anyway.
Yeah, it's fun and wholesome.
Yeah, it's fun and wholesome, and like
I can
it's
only
really
remember
fun
the
to-
Digimon movie.
Oh, the one that's a smash cut of 3 different Digimon movies.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that's a fun time.
Go on.
The one that half of it is just Summer Wars that the same director made that was just a rehashing of the Digimon movie. Summer Wars is such a good movie. Y'all should watch it.
I don't know if it's rude for me to burp on the podcast.
Try it. We'll find out.
If it's during someone else's gag,
That was a really bad one. Can we cut it?
That wasn't great. Well, now that you've said that, we can't.
I'm super embarrassed.
All right, I don't know that we've successfully answered whether or not it's rude. So next time someone has a burp, just let it rip. We'll find out then.
Just let it right out.
Yeah.
Let it rip, you know, like
Like
Beyblades,
Beyblades, yeah.
or like Phil Collins on
All
that
right,
electronic
so
drum set.
I guess as a segue from Digimon, have y'all seen the Cybertruck? I know you have. Oh, have you not?
What?
Yeah, the
Cybertruck.
PSX render in real
Have you
life.
seen the Cybertruck?
Oh, yes.
The new
I love the
Tesla.
Cybertruck. I
hate
want
it.
one
I
so very
I
bad.
also love the Cybertruck. It
God, I
is-
hate it.
hate
I
it.
despise
It's
it.
so
I despise it with
fucking
every
cool.
fiber of my being. It fills me with like a blind rage.
Why is that? Tell me.
I just hate it. It has too many angles. It hurts my heart.
Or with
Evie's
too many or
allergic
too
to
few?
corners.
I
How
really
dare
don't
you
like
so
things that are
sensitive.
pointy and pokey. I like.
I
things
really
that
don't
are
like that it is
circular
just
and
an
round.
Oh,
uncanny
fuck.
representation of a PSX render in real life.
I love
It
that
is the
about
PSX
it.
I don't
render
like
of a
it.
generic car.
Have you just seen it now for the first time?
I am just seeing it now
Okay,
for the first
wait,
time.
everyone shut up. Let's
Which
hear
is
your
wild because I live.
let's hear your
Okay, I'm from Fremont.
unfettered
I'm from
opinion.
the fucking Tesla, like Tesla headquarters are in.
Tesla Town. They should
Yeah, it's
rename your
Tesla
town
Town.
to Tesla
But
Town.
I've not seen this one. Usually we see like, because people will be just driving around the streets.
Well, this was just
in
revealed. It's
the
not
new
out
shit.
yet.
Yeah, but they'll like have the tester cars and they'll just drive them around the street.
All right, so
I'm
so
still-
tell
So,
us
like-
what you think, because we're getting a fresh live reaction.
I mean, my gut reaction is I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't want my car to be shaped like that.
Right.
Like, my first instinct is like, you're gonna flip this car and land directly on the windshield part, and then you're gonna die because there's
Yeah.
no structure there at all.
So let me tell you why I love
I just
it.
like.
Is
I really
because
thought that it was fake.
if you like back in like say the 80s when they were like what would the
That's true.
future look like, and they were making like illustrations and movies and books and stuff, that's what a future
That's
truck looked
true.
like.
But
That
see,
is what
I
it looks
dig
like.
that. If
That's
they
what
had-
the DeLorean looked
And now
like.
that we're
Yeah.
now that we're
And the
in
DeLorean was a real car that we moved away from because it was
Oh, shit.
awful.
now that we're
I
in
kinda
the
wanna buy
There's a
future,
fucking like camper attachment.
nothing.
This is
Yeah,
wild.
it's a truck.
I'm losing my mind.
Now that we're in the future, nothing looks futury. Everything looks just the same, and I hate it.
Except for
And
the
I
Prius.
love this.
The edgy Prius looks like the future.
I just feel like this is the
looks
new.
Like a hell
This
dystopia.
is
I know. I love it.
this is the Bay Area's pickup truck, and I'm not ready for that energy. You know what I mean? This is I am a tech bro who has a small dick, but I want people to like me. Car. I'm not ready for that to be on the streets
Oh God.
where
I
I
feel
live.
like I've
here's
just
the
been
thing.
attacked, and so
Some
has my
people-
penis.
Some people with small dicks deserve respect.
But you don't live here. You don't live in
so
California.
only if you
so it's
live in
different.
California. So if you buy it, well, I haven't bought one. I don't have money like that. But if you buy it and you don't live in
Right.
California, then you're okay.
Well, it's
Yeah,
also
'cause
like
then
it
it's like a
depends on
cool,
the
unique
energy
car.
you exert.
That's true.
Right. Like there are some people that drive pickup trucks that deserve respect, and there are some people
Yes.
that drive pickup trucks because they have a micro penis.
Generally, what that
And-
comes
Yeah.
down to is choice. If you didn't choose to drive it, like you have it for work or something, then we're good. If
You're
you
good.
like work in
Well,
an
like-
office and you were like, let me get this Ford F-150.
Well, if you drive
Yes,
a pickup
that's
truck
what
to
I'm saying.
compensate for the fact that you're short instead of the fact that you have a tiny dick, then you're valid.
This
I
is gonna
disagree.
replace.
Like,
As a short
wanna
man,
get-
I
You're fucking
disagree.
not.
I want to buy an SUV because I am very short and I think it would be very funny. Like, for me, like, okay, so I don't want an Escalade, but it's the best example of the funniest car I could get out of.
That's true.
Like, just the very concept. Because, like, you see someone driving a car like that and you expect, like, a certain kind of man to get out of that car. And when it's like a tiny woman in like an All Might t-shirt, like it's not what you're ready for.
I was about to say that somehow we've been talking about dicks a lot, but the other conversation about dicks was before I hit record.
It was. We could rehash it.
I
don't think it would
I think
work.
we're good.
I think we should leave it
I
forever in
think we're
mystery.
yeah. I think that's the best path.
That is probably for the best. I don't need to put that many people on blast like that on a public forum.
Oh no,
Not even that one dude from high school.
not even that guy.
Oh, so that is a good story.
Not for
We
today.
might want to save it. We've had our dick story.
Save it.
We'll hold on to that
all right.
one. Well, I
Can we
wanted
talk
to.
about how that fucking Cybertruck pulled an F-150 though?
Oh yeah, so they had a tug of war between the Cybertruck and the F-150, and the Cybertruck won.
Well, that's
what
because
tires
it was
were
an
on the boat?
F-150 and not an F-350.
That Cybertruck won by a lot
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
for the same price as like a loaded up F-150.
Oh,
Which is the
speaking of
F-150
wacky
everyone gets.
cars,
They've got over 200,000 orders for them already.
wow.
Oh, of course they do. And they're all here. I'm
the
never gonna escape.
breakdown
You
is
guys
like
don't understand. I'm never gonna escape Tesla.
the breakdown
everywhere.
is like 90%
Not even if you come to New
California.
York.
There's a Tesla 10 feet away from me.
Yep.
I almost worked at
See
See it from my
Tesla.
window.
My neighbors have a Tesla. And they
Yeah, my
shouldn't.
mom is.
I know what their house looks like. I hear them in the backyard. They should not be able to afford a Tesla. Should not be paying for that.
Well, which
That's
Tesla do
something.
which Tesla do they have?
I like the light classes.
Because one of them is like $30,000, which is a lot of
No.
money, but it's
No,
like
no, no.
not
That's
a
like
ton of
regular
money for a
car
brand new
price.
car. Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
It's
It's
They
one
have
of the
the-
like,
they have the nice one.
yeah.
They have the one with the
That's
Falcon
the-
doors.
Which one is the one your mom has, Ben?
You'd have to ask her. I honestly do not care about the car.
Well, is it an
I
SUV or a
think it's
car?
neat.
Or a
It's a car.
sedan?
It's a car.
Okay. Well, there's two options. Does it have...
There was like 4.
I don't
No,
think
no.
it's the super fancy one.
Well, she's had it
Probably a
since
Model
before the
3.
Y came out, so it's not the Y.
Yeah.
And the X is an SUV, so it's not that. So it's the
But
S
it's
or
like-
the 3.
It's
So here's
really
the question.
neat.
Here's the important question. Ben, the door handle to open the door?
It's inside the door.
It
You have to
Isn't that
push
all
on
of
it to
them,
get it
though?
out. Yeah.
okay. There's also you can have it eject itself automatically with the app.
Sick.
If you didn't know
What?
about that.
I wish
Um,
that your mom would do that because the first time I
Oh,
tried
so
to
that's
get in the
the
Tesla,
S.
I didn't know how the door handle worked.
That's
and
the
I
I
just,
S
still
then.
mess up.
I just stood there, like, really confused as to how I was supposed to get inside the car. I just didn't know what to do. I thought that maybe it would stick out for me if I waited long enough.
There are all these things on
I didn't.
there are all these things on the tablet that comprises the entire dashboard, which I hate.
I love it.
I
hate
love it too.
There
I'm
are
a
all
big
these
fan of the
things
Tesla
in
I
cars.
hate all the fucking knobs in my car.
Okay, so there are all these things on that tablet that are just like games and things to entertain children.
Cool.
And my mother is so obsessed with all of those things and quote unquote Easter eggs, and my 4-year-old nephews could not give less of a shit about them. Like, they get in the car and she's like, let's do some karaoke. And they're like, well, we're going to get to hear you sing, so yay. But they don't care that it's in a car. They'll do that in the house with
Yeah.
the radio.
That's because they
Or
don't.
in the
They don't
car
have like
with
the
the
That's
radio.
context.
because they're dumb
required to-
children. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You call my nephews dumb again, and I will walk to your house
no,
and shank you.
Can I tell
Do
you
it. Walk to my
favorite
house.
thing?
We'll have a good time.
Evey, are you
Yeah,
aware
we
of
will.
the pet mode?
The what?
Teslas have a pet mode where it'll shut the entire car off, lock everything, everything will just be off except for the air conditioning.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Does
Well,
it
the
play
other
their
thing
favorite
that's
music?
on the other thing
And then
that's
put a sign
on
up in the window that
is
says,
that-
please don't break this.
is that the big touchscreen turns into a sign that basically says like the pet is comfortable, the AC's on, please don't break my window. I don't know exactly what it says, but it says something along those lines.
This window is proprietary.
I
Can I-
remember
It is.
How do you
I
guys care
I
about
remember at one point Elon Musk tweeted out in the next
he tweeted out a
update.
picture of a girl from Toho and called her a cat girl erroneously.
I don't know. He
Oh,
said in
God.
the next update, we're making the sign
And then didn't
for
source
the
the
pet.
art.
We're making a sign for the pet mode larger. So I'm guessing they got complaints that people couldn't read the sign and still broke their windows.
I'm
But
sure they did.
can I tell you guys my favorite thing about the tablet in the Tesla?
Tell me.
Okay, so when you're I don't know how many.
Well,
of you
tell
guys
all of
have
us. Don't
been,
just tell me. That would be
I don't know how many of you
No,
guys
mute the rest
have
of us, come on.
been passengers or the driver of a Tesla.
not me.
Yes.
Okay, so
Unfortunately.
the tablet has like the
So
car has
big.
like sensors so that it'll like warn you if other cars are like near you. And when you're driving down the road, if there's like cars next to you, they'll like show up as like a little shadow car. But for a while, apparently they fixed it since then. But for a while, if you were like stopped in an intersection and a car was like crossing the intersection, it would just still be like vertically oriented, like the car representing you, and it would just slide sideways across the screen.
All of the ones that were stopped at the light with you would dance
Oh yeah,
Because
sometimes
this,
they would just like wiggle
because the
around.
sensors were all messed up.
Yeah. so that's very good.
That is
Also,
good.
speaking of wacky car stuff, do you guys remember when the smart car first came out?
I
Yes.
do. Someone in my neighborhood has one.
they're
I'm
also
jealous of
everywhere.
them every day when I'm looking for parking.
I hate smart
So-
cars.
I hate them
They're the
too, but I
worst.
Eddie,
kind of
you can
want
just
one.
pick it up and take it.
Um,
I also
Yeah.
am jealous. All right, so I also hate them, but I'm jealous of this person because parking's a nightmare.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Eddie, just pick it up.
That's
walk
part of
back
why I want a Fiat. But so the thing about smart cars is that when they first came out, everyone was like, "This is such a good idea. They're so cheap and so small and compact and efficient," but they're ugly.
Well, also they're
they-
death traps.
Yeah. But so they released a bunch of body kits for the smart car
I didn't know this.
to make it look
Evey.
like smaller versions.
Evey, are we
Of other
talking about this
cars.
Lamborghini right now?
Oh no, I wasn't
The
gonna talk
what?
about this. I was gonna talk about the Smummer.
Smummer?
They released a
Oh.
body kit for the smart car to make it look like a tiny Hummer.
They've also released a body kit for the smart car that makes it look like a the play school cars, the
Yeah.
That's
ones with the
funny.
handles on the back.
That's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's
amazing.
very good. We saw one of those in the wild.
Mm-hmm. We did. It had a whole handle on it.
It did. We couldn't
It
figure
also
out what
had
it was.
it also had the license plate for like play school.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they had
That's
committed.
hilarious.
It was
Mhm.
so good.
That's really good.
All right. Me.
Eddie, also if you want their spot, you could just tip it over.
No, because they park in spots that are too small for me. Because all right, so here's the biggest
Okay, so
problem.
just put it on top of that other
Here
car.
is the biggest problem with parking in my neighborhood, right? Is that people are shitty at it.
Yeah, they
So
are.
Yeah.
here's the thing, like all the time when I'm looking for parking, I'll be like, man, there in that space where there's 2 cars parked, there's enough space to park 3 cars.
Yeah.
But you're just both parked poorly, you know?
Yes.
Or like
parking
or even
lot-
like there will be like 2 cars worth of space and one person will park right in the middle there. So
Yep.
there's a ton of space in front of and behind them.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like
my
you're
favorite.
you're an asshole. But then sometimes I'm like, are you? Maybe you've been parked there all day. Maybe today was your day off, and other people parked poorly around you. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
Like,
hard to
I,
know. Go ahead.
My parking lot at my job has like really big parking spaces. Like they're like a good like 2 feet wider than most parking spaces. They're like deeper than most parking spaces. It's like
You have to be able
impossible,
to get a whole dog crate out of it.
right? But like it's and you know they did
Not
it so
half a
that there
dog
would
crate.
be space to maneuver your animals out of the cars. But it should be impossible to park poorly in a spot that you have to try to not park.
Not if
all
you're
the,
driving
like,
a sports car or a Ford F-150.
Right.
Then it's
So
always
like
easy.
people still manage to park like diagonally across 2 spaces
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
in like giant fucking double wide parking spots. But my favorite thing about parking at my job is that if people can't find a parking spot, now, you know, the town I work in is like one of those towns that wants to be a city. You know, so
Where do
it's
you
like
work? Oh wait,
all
don't tell
street
us. This is
parking.
going to everyone.
What?
I said, where do you work? And then I said, wait, don't tell us. This is going everywhere.
Yeah, this is public. But it's like it's one of those
Tell me
towns that thinks
later.
it's one of those towns that thinks it's a city. So there's like no like actual parking lots. It's all like street parking and
Boo.
you know blah de blah. So we have like a big ass parking lot. But you know, even
You
so,
paved
it'll
paradise
get filled
and
up.
put up a parking lot.
We did pave paradise. But the parking lot
It's not
is
Phil
for
Collins, Eddie.
the
You can't
vet
reference
clinic
that.
and the shelter. And all the employees. So it ends up getting filled up anyway. So there's like 3-hour parking, which is very sufficient to be at your, you know, vet visit. On all of the surrounding streets. On our street, because we're like a little complex, you can't park on the street because then nobody can get out of the parking lots. But if people don't find a spot, instead of going around the corner to park on the street, they just either park on the road or they'll just park in the lanes of the parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
which is how I almost hit somebody getting out of my parking spot on Friday afternoon, because I got into my car, started to back up, and then saw that there was just a car parked directly behind me, perpendicular to my car.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
not
I had to like
what
shimmy.
you should do.
I had to shimmy out. But people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't want to interrupt your story, but Ben, in response to your Phil Collins remark, I'm not sure what songs I can and can't reference. I'm in a bit of a land of confusion over here. I mean, tonight. I don't know. I know more Genesis songs than Phil Collins, is what we're learning right now.
I watched The Dragon Prince this week, all of it.
I don't know what
Again.
that is.
On Netflix.
I know what Netflix is.
It's anime light, I would say.
Okay.
Oh, like Ruby.
Yeah, kind of.
Like on a scale from Ruby to
Like,
The
it's-
Last
it's-
Airbender.
It's pretty
That's
close
not a
to
very
The Last
large scale.
Airbender.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Avatar, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't it
So
by
much so
made,
that
wasn't it made
the-
by like one of the same dudes?
Yeah, I think it's made by the same people, and the guy who voices Sokka is the guy who voices the lead guy in this one.
Good
Oh,
for
sick.
him.
And they also they have made like many Avatar references. Just like in it, it's really great. Like the guy playing Sokka found a crescent-shaped item and said, "It's so familiar. What is this? Is this a boomerang?"
Oh,
Yeah, like very like
Like
Excellent.
overt.
overt. They also made a "Anyway, here's Wonderwall" joke.
Hey, that's
They
not Phil
slipped that
Collins.
in
Cut it out.
there.
When does this take
my God.
place?
When?
Yeah.
What
Which
do
because
you
it's
mean?
called The
I don't
Dragon
understand.
Prince, so I was
Yeah.
guessing it was like
I think it's
Well,
like
it's
history
fantasy
adjacent.
world.
I don't know why
it's
adjacent
not
is the
even
word of tonight.
Is it?
close to. I mean, it's like medieval, I guess, but also magic. So,
okay. Medieval.
Yeah, yeah.
High
It's
fantasy.
excellent. It's excellent. I'm very much enjoying it. But if none of you have watched it, I don't know how far this conversation will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a bit like a non-starter.
You're
Yeah.
a non-starter. Ben?
I was gonna say something inappropriate, and then I thought better of it because my mom is gonna listen to this. You know.
Your
No, say
mom
it.
is gonna listen to this? Hi, Ben's mom. I'm Eddy. We met once, I think.
Yeah. Remember how last episode I was like, yeah, all 2 listeners, Chris and my mother.
I think some of my coworkers might listen.
we already talked about dicks, so like.
We did
Oh, yeah, we did
discuss
talk
them
about dicks
briefly.
Yeah, but
on
that's
Horror
fine.
Duty.
But the more explicit dick conversation was off air. That was
Very-
Goblincast.
Yeah, they're really bad.
That was Goblincast live off the air.
that was dark
dead.
Goblincast.
Goblincast after dark.
Mega Goblincast.
What would it be like? Goblincast. Something about a cave. I can't think of a good pun.
Goblin cast dead in the water.
What? Oh, god damn it.
It's just the Goblincast B-sides.
Goblincast B-sides. That's pretty good.
Too bad we didn't record it.
No, it's just for us.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
see.
recorded
Yeah,
in
it's
our
not
brain.
just gonna be like
Conversations
extra
between
content or
friends.
anything. This is just
Exclusive.
This is just darkness.
That is an exclusive.
Goblincast Elite.
All
Pay
right.
us to be part of the Goblin cast crew.
Eventually, we'll just all wear
We'll
a
let you listen
wire
in. We won't let you
24/7
talk.
so that we have like backer content.
I have other things I want to talk about, but I just want to make sure everyone gets to talk about things that they wanted to bring. Chris, did
So
you
spectrums.
have a thing that you wanted to discuss?
He brought up.
I have
the,
already discussed the greatest cryptid of all time.
Oh, that was
Whirling
that was
Olympus.
true. That was your thing.
I
All right, then
can-
I'm
I
going to
have
talk
more
about
cryptids I
other
can talk
stuff
about.
then. No, yeah, go ahead. Feel
Um,
free.
you-
Love
If you
cryptids.
guys want to learn about some less
Oh, we're,
frivolous cryptids, I got some more.
let's talk about cryptids.
Go for it.
Yeah, I will always talk
Uh,
about cryptids. I
Have
wanna
you guys ever heard of the U-28 creature?
No.
Yes.
No.
Spell that for me.
U-28. It is the designation of a German.
Oh, is this like a SCP thing?
No, it's
Oh,
it's an
okay.
actual. Actual is a strong word, but it is a sighting of a creature at some point during the First World War. So, I'm gonna read you a little bit of this this wiki page I'm looking at. On July 30th, 1915, our U-28 torpedoed the British steamer Iberian, which was carrying a rich cargo across the North Atlantic. The steamer sank so swiftly that its bow stuck up almost vertically into the air. Blah, blah, blah. Steamer exploded. The captain and all of their crew were in the... what's that little towery thing called?
The tower.
Bridge?
No, there's like a name for it. It's like the big tower on top of a
I
submarine.
think
that
it's
has, like,
called
all
a
the windows and
Susudio.
stuff. Yeah, the Susudio. They were in the studio. And they were, it mentions what it was called in here, but it's called a studio now. Fuck you, history. Anyway, they saw an approximately 60-foot long creature with a pointed nose and pointed tail, with
It's a whale.
4 flipper-like appendages.
It's a whale with a tumor.
Tumors
And
can grow like that on fish.
the crazy
I had a
thing
fish with a tumor like that.
about this whole
Not a
thing.
joke. That's not a joke. I did have a fish with a tumor like that.
Oh no.
It's
Whales
okay.
aren't
My other
fish, though.
my other fish ate the tumor off of that fish because it was
So-
Whoa.
Fish
It
are
was
so
cannibal.
fucking metal.
Jesus.
Fish are pretty metal.
It was a cannibal fish. It ate all the other fish and then it ate the tumor.
Wait,
off of
is
that
cannibal
fish.
fish a type of fish? Or are you saying it was a fish
No, it's a
that was a
goldfish.
cannibal?
It's a
It's a
regular
fishable.
goldfish
And it
that I
ate
won
the other
in a-
fish?
at my
Yeah.
4th grade fair.
So it was a carny fish.
Yep, and it ate all
Yeah,
my
those guys
other
are
fish.
fucked up.
They are, yeah. Well, he's
Um,
lived his whole life on the road, you know?
Like you could watch it. I have nightmares about it because I used to just sit and watch it eat things because I thought it would stop and like be ashamed or something.
Oh
When
my
I was
God.
a child, like it would like shake.
Yeah,
Oh
fish
my
don't
God.
feel shame.
So it ate
It's
the
still
other
alive.
fish. What?
Yeah,
It's
it's
still
alive.
alive?
Yeah.
It's
gonna
been well,
outlive
all
me.
these other
Okay,
fish
maybe
it ate.
that-
It consumed them for
Are
power.
you sure that that's a goldfish?
Maybe that
Yes.
maybe that goldfish knew something that
Goldfish
we
can live
don't.
up to
It
25
Maybe
learned the
goldfish is
secret.
from
Yeah,
space.
goldfish.
Look,
Goldfish are
Immortality.
indestructible.
Goldfish can live up to like 25 or 30 years. They just
Yeah.
don't because people put them in those dumb bowls that don't have any
Yeah.
that don't give them any
Also,
oxygen.
goldfish don't stop growing.
Yeah, they fit
they're-
the size of the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll grow to the size of the tank.
yeah.
My goldfish is probably about the size of like my fist.
People
Yeah,
often
'cause,
think
it's a
that
big
koi
boy.
and goldfish are separate species, but they
No,
are
they're
not.
the same.
Koi
They're
are
the
just
exact
goldfish
same
with more
fish.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you put a goldfish in like a big pond, it'll grow as big as that pond will allow, as
Mhm.
long as it has a food source. Goldfish are fucking bonkers. Also,
Yeah.
though, but speaking of fish
Maybe
which
all
live in
goldfish are
rivers,
from
Maybe
space.
all
and
fish are
speaking-
goldfish.
Yes, that's true.
Every one of them.
But so
Especially the dogfish.
I wanna go on a tangent because Chris was talking about cryptids, and then we're talking about fish, and fish live in rivers. So I want to tell you guys about my favorite SCP,
Okay. Tell me about it.
What's
which
the number?
2513. Um,
I'm gonna have a lot of images to look up for this
Yeah.
episode.
so,
You are.
so SCP-2513 is a bridge located approximately 7 kilometers north of the city of
Fucking
Ragusa, Italy.
Excuse me?
It is a bridge.
All right.
It is a bridge in Italy. It was originally built by the Roman Republic and then restored in 2006 by the Ragusa Heritage Society.
Weird that wasn't
The-
blacked out.
Yeah, the SCP will, when crossed by an individual from south to north, cause a sudden and irrational hatred of the Carthaginian Republic.
And
It fills you with the need to burn Carthage.
they
holy
found that
shit.
if a person has no prior knowledge of Carthage, the effect will manifest as a general distaste for North Central Africa.
Incredible.
And if you have no prior knowledge of Carthage or Africa, as soon as you are informed of the existence of Carthage, like even if it's years after the exposure to the SCP, you will the effect will trigger as soon as you know that Carthage exists.
Existed.
It will trigger. It will trigger.
Wait,
from as little
what's-
information as the phrase Carthage exists, or
How the
I'm from
fuck?
Carthage.
Wait.
Here's what I
What's
need to know.
Carthage? Because I
City.
Carthage is a city-state that existed in modern-day Tunisia until
okay, because I
146
feel like
BC.
I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the like
hate
the
it.
vowel sound in my mouth, but I fucking hate Carthage. Thank you.
Here's what I want to fucking
Those are
know,
my
though.
comedy
How did they-
stylings.
How did they, number one, find someone who doesn't know about the existence of Africa
They asked
and
a
know that they
person.
didn't
Okay,
know
I need
about
you
the
to know-
existence
They
of
asked a
Africa?
person who went
How
to
did they do
public
this?
school in the United States.
Yeah.
Jennica, I need you to know.
But then they just think that Africa's a country, but it still
Jennica?
exists. Like,
Jennica, I need you to know. D-rank personnel don't exist.
Hey.
What does D-rank
Hey,
personnel mean?
hey.
That's the ones that they use to test at SCP.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
They're
That's
not real
fair.
people. They're kind of like, you know, up in like a redacted.
You know, they just go.
They just.
Oh man, that's
You want to know my favorite SCP?
yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's SCP-6969.
And what
I
does
love
it do?
that.
Nothing. It doesn't
Nice.
exist. The page
Oh, okay.
literally does not exist. It's just because it's SCP-6969. Wink.
Yeah, they didn't allow it to be made. There is an SCP-420 though.
And what does that one do?
Nice.
So SCP-420, not SCP-420J, which is a different one.
Of course,
SCP-420 is it is a bottle of redacted brand whiskey with no lid.
Oh my god.
When emptied, a small amount of whiskey-like liquid, which is SCP-420-1, remains in the bottle, appearing as liquid adhering to the sides. The liquid pools back into a few millimeters over time. If you drink it, it causes SCP-420-2, which is a non-fatal consuming degeneration and mutation of skin and keratinous tissue. It's just a bottle of poison whiskey.
Yeah, it's a bottle of infinite poison whiskey.
Oh, and so okay.
Can I
so
tell you about-
My actual
can't
favorite
you
SCP
can't,
is
you
the
can't
front
wash
half
out
of a
the
cat.
bottle. You can't wash out the bottle.
Let's just ignore that.
Chemical analysis shows no anomalies. But when it's potent, it has all the same effects and as the same effects and is nearly identical to a different redacted brand whiskey.
Alrighty.
So my actual favorite SCP is the front half of a cat.
Okay.
That's it.
Tell me
It's the
about
front
it.
half of a cat. It's
Can I
perfectly
just
fine.
tell you one more
Very
thing
efficient.
about
Use the front half of a cat.
SCP-420-1, which is the liquid inside the redacted brand whiskey bottle?
Yeah.
Does it taste
Is,
bad?
they did urinalysis of it that shows it belongs to a human male approximately age 50 with severe liver degeneration.
Nice.
It's
It's
piss?
Yeah, it's a whiskey drinker piss.
Okay, so my favorite SCP, I had to look up the number because I just knew like the story of it. It's SCP-2086, and let me tell you about it real quick.
Are we just an SCP podcast now?
I think
Yes, we
so.
are.
There's not many jokes to be had here.
No, but let me tell you about this one. This is a fucking joke, okay? SCP-2086 is a species of arthropod that resembles various makes, models, and brandings of public transportation vehicles, typically buses.
And when you get on the bus, it eats you.
When foraging, SCP-2086 are almost indistinguishable from standard automobiles, although closer examinations reveal the steel, wood, plastic, and glass to be a specialized form of chitin. Vital
Titan.
organs such as heart, brain, whatever, fuck you, and stomach are stored beneath the flooring of SCP-2086's inner chamber. A human corpse preserved in a shellac-like substance typically serves as the decoy driver of wild SCP-2086 instances. Fibrous appendages protrude into the corpse. They use these fibers to manipulate the corpse, providing a more lifelike appearance. So yeah, they look like buses, and then people get on the bus, and then they get eaten. So
Oh,
so
can I
what
tell you
they'll
guys-
do is they'll capture you and bring you back to the colony, and then this is the best part. The juvenile SCP-2086 will proceed to force the human through a sphincter located under the hood. That's it. Its butt
Okay,
is in its front.
I'm
It's got a
gonna
front
tell
butt.
you guys-
You know,
I
So
was telling
that's
you guys
that's
about,
my favorite SCP because it's just a bus,
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear another really good
and it's just
SCP?
like you should be afraid of getting on the bus, especially if the bus driver is like, weird.
Yeah, if he seems to be a corpse.
If he seems to be a corpse, if he's Weekend at Bernie'sing it, don't get on the bus.
All right, guys,
like
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
tell
have
you.
me do at your wedding.
Yeah, go aheid, Evey.
I'm gonna tell you about
Ben, are
another
you gonna be
SCP.
dead at my wedding?
I'm definitely gonna be weekend at Bernie's it.
What does this mean?
That either means he's gonna be dead or he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
bring
be
a
between
corpse.
Mike and Evie the whole time, and no one will know that I am unconscious.
Oh, I want to tell you guys about this other SCP, but I also want to talk about the plan for my wedding.
Okay, well, which one will be funnier?
The plan for your wedding. Let's go for the plan for your
Yeah,
wedding.
it's
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about SCPs.
Yeah, we talked about the bus with a front butt, so
Yeah, I mean, I
think
was
we're
gonna
good
talk
on
about the
SCP
IKEA, but
The
content.
IKEA's been done to death.
yeah, I know the IKEA has been done to death. I just appreciate it.
Sweden?
So
Meatball?
one of my
Racism is okay if they're European. That's
white
just a
people don't
fact,
have
I can
rights.
Jack.
make those jokes because I drive a Volvo now, Eddie. What's your excuse?
I
White
drive a
people don't have
Kia.
rights.
Chris drives a Volvo?
Every night. Oh,
I'm telling Ken.
Please,
Okay. Evie, tell us the
Please call her.
plan
Get her
for
to
your
send
wedding
help.
that I am very much a part of.
Okay, so so one of my absolute like dreams is to have my wedding be objected.
Great.
So I have a multi-step plan to stage an objection at my wedding.
What is it
And
like?
it starts.
If anyone thinks these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all
and
right.
somebody's gonna get up and be like, I object. But the first step of the plan is that I will be outfitted with a sword.
As will I.
Yes, at the wedding.
Because that is going to be the gift to the wedding party is a bunch of ornate swords.
Instead of cufflinks.
We will all be wearing swords. I will be armed like the knight I was born to be.
Okay.
So one audience member will have a sword. Maybe a couple more. That one audience member will be Eddy.
I'm sure I was told this before, but I'm
have
learning.
been.
I'm learning this right now.
You will have a sword. You will stand up to object to my union. And the entire wedding party
We'll
on the
gasp.
stage will draw their swords.
Perfect.
You
and
will
then
draw your sword. Several other fighters will emerge from the shadows. And there will be a choreographed sword fight.
I get a couple good blows in, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
of
kill
course.
some of the extras. Obviously, none of the
Yes.
wedding party.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
I
no,
mean,
Eddie,
you know,
you're
I'm
on the
sure
side of
there
the
are a couple,
extras.
like, extended family
Oh, wait,
members
they're
that
like
we
my
could do a
squad.
duo
I thought
with.
everyone was standing up to stop me. I have homies.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I'm not
Yeah, you
stupid.
get-
I didn't roll up here alone.
Yeah. You have, like, people in the shadows with, like, dark ninja outfits on or something.
And
something
then we
dastardly.
fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, like, I want there to be a fight to the death, and I want, like, some extended family members to be deeply concerned.
We'll
The
have to
thing
get,
is that...
We'll have to get like realistic blood squibs too, so that they
Oh,
think
yes.
That people are
Yeah.
actually dead. And then we finish the ceremony
with
the
bodies on the
corpses.
ground.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The biggest piece of key information is that Mike can't know.
It's too bad he listens to this goddamn podcast that he's part of.
It's
You
okay.
really
You'll
think he's
just
gonna
you'll
listen to
just
the
have to
episode he's not
find
in?
someone else to marry if he listens to it.
Yeah, like, big bummer. Oh well, I guess I'll just marry Gawain instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can't marry the anime boy Gawain.
I can.
Man,
and
I thought we were talking
will.
about something else. Thought we were talking about King Arthur's court or something.
We are.
Well, we are.
Oh, all right. I watched an anime.
Just
Oh
one.
really?
Well, I've seen a few, but I watched one recently.
Eddie has only watched one anime.
Me too.
Well, I watched two recently, actually. But one that I was going to talk about because Ben and I talked about it before. But I watched recently.
Gridman.
I didn't watch Gridman yet.
Fuck.
You really should watch Gridman.
I know.
Gridman fucking slaps.
I will. Ben asked
Gridman
me
is
to,
fucking
and I
great.
said I would, so I'm gonna. I'm a man of my word.
Are you?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Whoa.
I mean, you know, anything can happen.
We're all true knights here.
Everyone's a man of their word until they're not.
That is technically true.
So I recently the anime I watched 2 recently, but I recently watched ReZero.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
All of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is quite the experience. Like, never
Especially
have
since
I
the one you
both.
watched before it was Konosuba.
I did.
Oh,
Well,
God.
that was like 2 animes ago.
Yeah.
But I did watch that also. But I've never, at the same time, been both so invested and so
Just
angry at the
disgusted.
main character.
Yeah. Yep. It's a very unique experience.
Yeah, and
It really just proves how powerless the audience is in a piece of media.
yeah,
It makes me so
Because you want to
upset.
just grab him and shake him and say, "Stop being a fucking
stop
moron."
being so stupid.
It's like the same feeling of watching a horror movie and
Well-
being like, why are you going in the creepy basement?
So the worst part about it, okay, let me preface by saying, don't kill yourself, anyone. Okay, now that I've said that, once he learns that killing himself also triggers the rewind, what was it called? The reverse by death or something like that.
Yes, return by death.
Return by
whatever.
death.
It's just he
It's
calls it a
weird
thing.
that like he gets into these like huge problems and doesn't kill
Well,
himself.
you've got to remember that dying still sucks every time,
Yeah, I agree.
and he's not sure when his save point is at any given time until
Well,
it happens.
sometimes he is.
Well, until it happens.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like when he's already reset a couple times, and he makes it even worse. Like just reset, dude. Don't wait to die.
It's the same philosophy as like surrendering a game of League when it
Yeah, dude,
gets
never give
hairy.
up, never surrender. Come on.
Oh my god. It's like you could always turn the game around.
Yeah, you could, but like the thing still happened where you made Amelia hate you.
Yeah, and it's like it was just she didn't deserve that.
No.
Also, she didn't deserve getting sidelined in the anime for Rem, because it sure doesn't happen in the books.
I mean, so I now that I've watched it, the memes appear to be correct. Rem is best girl.
Yes, by way of the anime.
The way you said that reminded me so much of like my grandmother desperately trying to like understand the things that me and my uncle were interested in,
Oh, hey, let's go back to this story.
which culminated in so one holiday season, my grandmother heard my uncle and I telling some jokes about furries.
Oh.
And she, like, very calmly asked us to explain to her what furries were.
Please tell me you lied.
So we kept, like, the explicitness out of it, but we basically told her that they were people that liked to, like, dress up like animals, and that they would, you know, design their own, like, animal personas.
They're
and,
like Judy
we-
Hopps and
Right, like, yeah. Like, we
and
kept, like,
Nick
the sex
Foxley.
stuff
I don't
out
remember
of
that
it.
character's name.
Because, you know, not every
Slogan
furry
seems
does
like,
sex
yeah.
stuff. So we gave her, like, the innocent explanation. Flash forward to Christmas morning.
Oh no.
My uncle, who loves ducks, had been gifted
no.
a duck kigurumi, like a onesie, a duck onesie, by his best friend. So he's wearing that on Christmas morning. And my grandmother, in what is the sickest unintentional burn in the history of mankind, says,
Lay it on him.
"Now, Patrick, don't be upset with me, but what is the difference between what you're wearing right now and being a furry?"
What a fucking savage.
The answer that you didn't tell her was, "I don't want to fuck Ranamon."
Yeah.
Wait, is there a duck
We
dish
never
pun?
guessed the second Pokemon, and I'm still like that's still.
I
hurting
thought
me.
we
never
dropped
going
it.
He's racking his goddamn
What are you talking about
brain.
never going to? We can sit here and name all the Pokemon.
Is it?
You can't
We could just
please-
take the next like 20 minutes or whatever we have of this podcast
No,
and just name
please.
every Pokemon.
Well, which Pokemon? I mean, it's Delphox, right?
Oh no, it's Brazen.
Oh, shit.
I forgot it was brazen. It's brazen.
I'm on the floor now.
I think I just scared the dogs halfway across the house when I hit my desk.
Oh god. Wow.
Fuck! How could I forget it was brazen? She's the magical girl fox.
When I heard Delphox get
Of
said,
course
I was
Evey
like, they're
wants to
so
fuck
close,
it.
but so far.
Wait, is Delphox not the third one?
Delphox is the
Delphox
third one.
is
She
the
only
third
Oh,
wants to
you
fuck
want to
brazen.
fuck the one that's a teenager?
It's the magical girl.
Gross.
Stop.
She's a furry. It's gross enough as it is.
I'm not, and stop it.
Also, hey,
I have
let's
some
let's
friends,
learn.
some of which might actually listen to this, that are furries, and to
Let's-
them I apologize. I
let's
don't
There's
actually
learn-
think
nothing
gross. I
wrong
just
with
like making
being
fun
a
of Evey.
furry.
I'm
There's
gonna
nothing wrong with
curve
being a
real
furry.
quick.
I
We're
just
gonna
am
curve
not
it.
one.
And let's learn
Yes, you are.
something about me real quick. I, for
He's a furry.
a very long time, have thought that Pokemon's name was Braixen.
No, that's brazen.
I did too
'Cause
at
it breezes
first.
things. You know,
What?
like cooking.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I
don't
also
know.
thought
Chris
it was
knows,
pronounced
but I don't
Braixen
know.
at first.
It's a mixture of braise and vixen, and so brazen.
Yeah,
I'm
like that's
uncomfortable
why
now.
it has an X.
Yeah.
So it's not Braixen then, because I
No.
learned just now when Ben said Brazen, I was like, oh, is that Pokemon not called Braixen?
Yeah, no, it's brazen, and also it's not in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which we picked up today.
And I was gonna just go along with it and pretend I always knew how it was pronounced, but that didn't feel right. It felt like lying.
It felt like you were missing out on a self burn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
A
those are
self
rare.
Talk about-
braise.
Can we talk about Sword and Shield for like 10 seconds? So Eddie
Oh
has
god, yeah, I
put
guess.
that
Oh my
so.
god! So in Sword and Shield,
No. I just want Eddie.
No,
to
I just have it's a
to
small
put
detail.
fucking
In Sword and
beating
Shield,
versions up because that picture's beautiful.
oh, we're bringing that up again. Okay. So in Sword and Shield, the pretense for gym battles is like soccer competitions.
Why?
So every time, just cause they needed a theme,
No, they
and it's
didn't.
written.
They didn't need one.
Whatever.
They chose to have one.
Whatever. So like in this one, you go in like a jersey because it's like a big sports competition thing. And the gym leader is also in like special sportswear for Pokemon battles. But you get to pick the number that's on your jersey.
Can you pick 69?
We haven't started yet, but hell yeah, I'm gonna pick 69. And other people have too.
Nice. So you can pick 69.
You
I'm
absolutely
definitely
can
gonna
pick
pick
69.
That's good. Here's
Definitely gonna
here's
do
my
69.
very unimportant question. So in sports, the people wear
No.
like jerseys
No.
and uniforms and stuff to differentiate the teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need that when each team is one person, because they're just two different people.
Well, you need somewhere to put your sponsorships, Eddie.
Well, no. Listen, there's a
Wait,
lot
is there
of
a
white
is
men
there
that
a
look the
getting
same.
1 second? Is there a getting
That's true.
sponsors like mini game in the new Pokemon?
I believe so.
Is there like a
Oh, I
Zoo
hope
Tycoon like
Oh my god,
Oh
I hope
god.
so.
sponsorship tycoon?
I believe there is because the champion has a cape that has all his sponsors on it.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
amazing.
I want to be sponsored by the Pokemart. Like
Just
that would
the
be
Pokemart.
yeah, that would be
That
like
seems
the
like a very
littest
lucrative
sponsorship,
sponsorship.
dude. No, it doesn't. They don't collect money.
Yes, they do.
But it
I mean,
would-
like there are people that run marathons sponsored by like
No, wait, hold up.
charities.
When do they
Yeah.
collect money at the Poke Center?
You said Pokemart.
Did I say Pokemart?
You did,
sure
motherfucker.
did.
That's a
In fact-
store.
Wait. Okay. Future Eddie, play back when I said Poke Center. I want to be sponsored by the Pokemart. All right. Now I'm gonna assume that you guys are correct, and pretend I heard the playback. Oh fuck. Alrighty. Well, I meant Poke Center.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you.
That's what I meant to say, but I
Okay.
didn't say that. Probably.
Yeah, because they don't have any money.
No, they
Yeah, no,
don't.
they're broke as shit.
But that's why
Completely government subsidized.
I'd
That's
like
just
to
proof
have
that
them
communist
as a.
healthcare works.
Is it?
Yes.
What
They get
people
treated.
healthcare exists in the Pokemon universe, though?
Oh, you just go out into the woods and die. Your Pokemon will be okay.
So this seems like a
people don't
problem
matter.
in the system.
Well, people can't get hurt in Pokemon. Come on.
See, and that's the thing, is people are always proposing their own newfangled, crazy healthcare and government
Well,
schemes
Hold on, there
in
was that
these
one time that Ash
situations where
died.
people can't get hurt.
Wait, There's this one time that Ash died.
Oh yeah, Ash
Does
did
the
die.
anime
Y'all
count?
remember that?
Well, it's just Ash that died. Like Red hasn't died, but Ash sure did.
Yeah.
Well, Ash died.
got
He's
better.
been electrocuted several times.
Well, in the like
In
the
Pokemon the movie, he straight up dies.
yeah, well, he turns into
petrified,
stone.
dead.
Yeah,
And then the Pokemon tears brought him back to life.
yeah,
Yeah,
They
it was,
did not cure
magical,
him.
it was a magical
They brought
moment.
him back to life.
yep.
Yeah.
Which
Excellent.
is
Ash
Okay.
has seen the beyond and will not tell us about it.
That's why he doesn't age.
He refuses to. He's kind of
You
selfish.
think
in
that's
that
why he
way.
doesn't age?
Yeah.
I think we've got a good amount to cut out this episode.
Yeah.
But
We
I
had a lot
don't.
of dead time.
I don't want to
Yeah. That's okay though.
keep going unless someone had like some final things to say.
Thank you, Phil Collins, for not trademarking our work.
And for
Yeah,
inventing music and creating the Earth as we know it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
I couldn't.
Praise be unto
I've been
him.
trying really hard to figure out a way to work in follow you, follow me, but I couldn't do it. So that's where we're putting it.
See, if we had if we had sponsors and we had like a zone where we would go to talk about them,
Get in
that
the
would be a
zone.
good way to do it.
Sponsor zone.
Get in the zone. Phil Collins.
What?
Phil Collins is our only sponsor.
At this episode
Eddie, we can't
specifically.
accept money from anyone that isn't Phil Collins.
Wait,
Oh,
but
we
we have to
will.
give Phil Collins all
We
our
will.
money.
He deserves it.
If this
Our
this
continued
episode is
existence is his sponsorship.
it's sponsored by Phil Collins and it's explicitly not sponsored by the Ford F-150 because we kind of ragged on it a fair amount.
Or the McRib, because it's dead.
It's gone.
Rip.
And
how
like the good
will-
baby
McRib.
Jesus, it will rise again.
Wait.
Mc-
You think Jesus came back as a baby?
No, I think the McRib came back as a Jesus.
McRebus Christ.
McRebus Christ, yes.
All right.
We've come full circle.
I don't know. How do you end episodes of
Am I
things?
allowed? Hey.
I think you just say
Bye.
something like thanks for listening,
No,
guys.
fuck that.
Oh.
Damn it, now we have to cut me going, bye!
Also, even though Chris Evans is Jenica's PFP here, I keep looking at it when I'm talking to Chris.
See,
That's
I don't
fine.
look at anyone's icons except for mine because I'm so captivated by Fatty. He's so beautiful.
Christ,
All
how
right.
do people find good stopping points for podcasts?
We just stop. I'm just gonna hit the button.
Yeah, they
And
just
it'll
Just
be
hit the
done.
button. We need to have like a proper sign off.